Alright, so real quick before we get into this breakdown, I need you to answer this question. Why do Steelers vs. Jets games never go as expected? The Jets embarrassed themselves against the Patriots, and then last week they were blown out by the Chiefs. But my guy, the history of these matchups is one that is filled with plot twists, crazy moments, and enough drama to fuel a season full of NFL storylines. So trust me, today this matchup feels like another one of those moments, and I am gonna not show you exactly what I mean. Now, here's what you need to know. I am gonna not tell you why the Steelers are probably going to win, and then I am gonna not explain why the Jets might pull off the upset. In other words, it's story proof. I'm showing you both sides because the truth is no matter who you are, no one sees the future. All we have are clues and patterns from the past that suggest certain outcomes are more likely. And by the time I'm done, you'll see exactly what I mean. Alright, so let's start with the most important thing, the things that we know. First, we know the Steelers and the Jets have some serious talent on both sides of the ball. Both teams have weapons at skill positions. They both have the ability to put up points, and they also both have defenses that have the potential to take over a game. Second, we know this is a critical moment for both of these teams. The Jets obviously coming off back-to-back losses, and they're desperate for a win. Meanwhile, the Steelers are looking to prove that they're legitimate Super Bowl contenders. But now it is time for the fun part, where I show you why these two teams do never play to expectations. So grab your snacks, settle in, and get ready for the next 5 minutes of your life, because it is about to change everything that you think you know about this matchup. Alright, first things first. Let's talk about the most recent matchup between the Steelers and the Jets, which is of course their meeting last year. Remember when the Jets were coming to Heinz Field, and they were able to pull off a stunning comeback victory in the fourth quarter? Well, here's the key takeaways from that game and how it shapes our expectations for this one. First of all, last year's game was a hard-fought battle between the evenly matched opponents. The Jets won 21-20, which means that they have proven that they can compete with the Steelers. In fact, the Jets almost won the game in regulation, but a late field goal by the Steelers forced overtime. Ultimately, the Jets prevailed thanks to a 35-yard field goal by Greg Zuerlein. But the point is this game could have gone either way, and it shows that the Jets can win this matchup. And second, the Jets' victory over the Steelers last year was a testament to the coaching staff's ability to game plan effectively. In fact, Robert Saleh's game plan was perfectly executed by his players, and it caught the Steelers off guard. It shows that he is capable of getting the most out of his players, and that he is not afraid to take risks. Now, remember, these are the same Jets that played the Patriots twice and didn't even score a touchdown. So clearly, there's something special about this matchup with the Steelers. In addition, quarterback Joe Flacco played brilliantly. He completed 28 of 46 passes for 360 yards and 3 touchdowns, including the game-winning drive in overtime. Of course, we all know that Flacco is a shell of his former self, but if he can have a performance like that again, well, let's just say the Jets' chances look pretty good. Plus, the Jets made some big plays on defense. In fact, they sacked Ben Roethlisberger 4 times and intercepted him once. And remember, the Steelers were without TJ Watt in that matchup, making it even more impressive. But here's the bottom line. The Jets proved that they can win against the Steelers. And when you consider that the Jets are a different team this year, this game is far from a gimme for Pittsburgh. But wait, there's more. There's even more evidence that the Jets have a chance to win this game, and it dates all the way back to 2010. In fact, the Jets traveled to Pittsburgh in 2010 and they defeated the undefeated Steelers. At the time, this was a huge upset. In fact, it was only the second loss of the regular season for the Steelers, who went on to finish 12-4. Meanwhile, the Jets finished 10-6 and made the playoffs as a wild card. But here's the bottom line. The Jets proved that they can win against the Steelers. And when you consider that the Jets are a different team this year, this game is far from a gimme for Pittsburgh. Now, one of the biggest reasons for the Jets' victory in 2010 was their ability to control the clock and keep the ball away from the Steelers. In fact, the Jets ran the ball 47 times for 171 yards, while the Steelers only ran the ball 20 times for 72 yards. Plus, the Jets also made big plays on defense, sacking Ben Roethlisberger twice and intercepting him once. And then, of course, there's the game that many Jets fans still can't believe they won. It happened in the 2008 AFC Championship game. The Jets were the underdog going into the game, but they came out on top with a score of 17-14. Now, This game was controversial to say the least. In fact, there's still debate over whether the Steelers should have won or lost. But that's beside the point. The Jets won, and that's a fact. The Jets' victory in the 2008 AFC Championship game was a testament to their resilience and determination. Despite being outgained and outpossessed by the Steelers, the Jets made the key plays when it mattered most. One of the most memorable moments of the game was when Kerry Rhodes intercepted Ben Roethlisberger in the end zone, sealing the victory for the Jets. So considering all of these examples, it's clear that the Jets have the ability to win against the Steelers. But will they be able to do it this weekend? Alright, now let's address the elephant in the room. You clicked on this video because you want to know how the Steelers are going to win this game, right? Well, let's break it down. First of all, the Steelers have a strong defense. In fact, they're ranked No. 2 in the league, allowing only 18.8 points per game. Plus, they also rank No. 5 in total defense, giving up just 295.8 yards per game. And that's bad news for the Jets. Second, the Steelers have a balanced offense led by quarterback Kenny Pickett and running back Najee Harris. The Steelers have a lot of weapons on offense, making them a threat to score from anywhere on the field. Plus, Pickett has shown poise beyond his years, throwing for 2,953 yards and 16 touchdowns while only throwing 7 interceptions. Third, the Steelers have a strong coaching staff led by Mike Tomlin. In fact, Tomlin has a career record of 156-87, which includes 2 Super Bowl appearances and 1 Super Bowl victory. His teams are always well prepared and disciplined, which is bad news for the Jets. And finally, the Steelers have the edge in special teams. Sure, this might seem like a small detail, but special teams can make all the difference in a close game like this one. In conclusion, the Steelers have the talent, coaching, and experience to win this game. But can they handle the pressure? Look, I'm not trying to convince you that the Steelers are definitely going to win. What I'm trying to do is give you insight into the data that suggests they are in fact the better team and they should come out on top. However, as we've discussed, anything can happen in this matchup. But if the Steelers can focus on executing their game plan and controlling the clock, they should be able to come out on top. So as usual, thank you guys so much for watching. And don't forget to subscribe because tomorrow I got a video dropping that is gonna help you become a smarter sports bettor.